Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. Let's have a heart-to-heart and put on some makeup, tell you about a few things along the way, and yeah, let's do that. I broke out new ones. The other ones, they were still going, okay? They just looked horrible, but that's not what I'm gonna put on today. Instead, I'm gonna put on my son's Derma E patches. He left them here in the medicine cabinet when he left, and I'm going to use them. Of course, I'm going to ask him, you know, did you forget these or did you give these to me? Because I'm using them. And we'll just see what he says. But for today, I'm going to use these Derma E patches, which, you know, here's a good reason why this has been coming to an end.
I don't know. I mean, when they first came out, they were so good. Hey, Peter!
And they still are good. Okay, but sometimes you have to use 2 per eye because they're so thin now. They like thinned them out. Everybody gets greedy, right? I don't know that they're being greedy, but they used to be a little thicker and they didn't tear up when you got them out. We're going to use this brush set that I got today. Well, I didn't get them today. I've been using them all week. Currently sold out. By the time you see this video, I don't know, they might be back. They're BK Beauty's Nikki LaRose. They're her second brush set. The only thing I don't like is, and I'm not a makeup artist, so you may want to disregard what I say here. But yeah, what I don't like is not like these. These are fine, okay? It looks like I've used these brushes, so I can't tell. You know, if you're somebody normal, if you put on your makeup like me and like every day for 6 months you use a different brush and then you try to wash them all. I use a brush once and then I wash it. So to me this looks like I already used them, but I didn't. They're just that color on the end. And you know, like all BK Beauty brushes, they're absolutely excellent. And you know, Nikki did such a great job, particularly these are my favorites. But you know, like I said, these are really great. I just personally wish they were all white so I would know if they're dirty and need washed or not. But you know, if that's your only brush set, then you know if they're dirty or not. Anyway, let's get going because I got a lot to talk about. And as usual, I haven't made an outline. So take note of the spot on my lip. You guys see it all the time, right? But does it look like it's lighter, maybe a little smaller than normal? I'll tell you what I'm doing at the end of the video, but to me, it does. I might just, you know, be being very hopeful, but tell me, you know, what do you think? I probably won't say half of what I wanted to and a bunch of stuff I didn't even want to talk about. I changed things up here and there. I mean, the last time I made a major change, it was no more Wednesday videos. It was just going to be on Fridays because I always, for the whole time that I've had this channel, I've always published on Friday, Fritzy Friday, right? So, you know, if you got more than that, that's great. But if nothing else, you're going to get a video on Friday. And I think that's been going on for like 11 years. When my husband retired, originally he retired because he was sick. He was really sick. We don't want to go into all of that. Let's just say that he couldn't do his job anymore. So he retired early. And to make that a more comfortable transition, you know, because we're not Rockefellers, to make that a better transition, I took my Social Security as well. That way, we could continue to living the same way that we've always lived, and then I would just keep making these videos, and, you know, that would pay for our internet, you know, different things that I need to keep the channel going, buying makeup and stuff like that. You know, I know some of you are not going to be receptive at all, but I have to do what I have to do. So I'm not saying that my channel is going to end. I'm not telling you goodbye. Okay, that's not what's happening. But I am going to make a change. And it's going to be that I don't know when I'll publish a video. That's essentially what it is I'm not going to not make videos. I'm just not going to put out, you know. I mean, I don't know. You might get a video every Friday. You might not. I don't want you to be scared and worry. It's my palette, okay? Going into my Savior with, does that say 5? No, what is that? I don't know what that says. See, I'm blind without my glasses. You know, because you saw it, okay? Whatever. Anyway, what I'm saying is that I am not going to guarantee there's going to be a video on Fridays anymore. A lot of you are my age, so you get it. okay? I mean, there's things that we want to do and things that we have to do. One month I might put out 3 videos, the next month 1. And those of you who are the most loyal, which out of, what, do I have 22,000 subscribers? I quit looking a long time ago because it doesn't make sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Like, I have maybe 23,000, 22,000, something like that, subscribers, have had for a while, because I'm constantly in a state of gained 15, lost 12. I think people watch a video of mine and go, yeah, I like that. And then they subscribe. And then, I don't know, the next video, maybe they realized, oh, this content isn't for me at all. And then they unsubscribe. I don't know what causes people to do what they do, but it's never made sense to me. Like, okay, let's say I have 22,000. I don't know. Let's just look and see what I have. It'll change tomorrow. As of this date, I have 23,807 subscribers. And in the last month, I've gained 24. But before the end of the month, I'll probably lose all of them and a couple more. It doesn't make sense to me that this is me rambling again. This part has nothing to do with, you know, what I'm trying to say about the time I'll be here and won't be here or whatever. That has nothing to do with it. I got on a side road. Stick with me. I'll come around. If you have 23,000 subscribers on your channel, and a few years back, say like 5 years ago or something, I questioned this. I'm like, are people buying subscribers? Because, well, at the time, I knew of a couple people who were. Anyway, I'm like, all these people must be buying subscribers because they have like 1 million subscribers. And yet their views are, I don't know, some number will say 20,000 views on a video. Well, where are all those other people? Same on my channel. I've always looked at my channel and went, okay, I have 23,000 subscribers, but only about 1,100 of you are loyal.
Fritzy family, or Fritzy fruit.
Might take you a couple of days, but in a couple of days, my video will have churned, on average, about that many. So where are the other, 21 or 22,000, I don't know. Where are all those other people? I've never understood that. All of that to say that only about maybe 1,100 of you, and judging by this the last week, 900 of you, will you be that upset? Okay. But that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people to think about. Maybe you're going to upset them. And nobody likes to feel like they're letting anyone down or upsetting anyone or whatever. I guess we probably know my favorite shades in here are Pita, my savior. Pita has become an everyday shade, even though Pita is such a menace. Anyway, to try to come to the point of it, at the stage of life that I am in right now, I want to better my health. I want to better my husband's health. And this is what I have learned with him being out, not working, retired. And I know him very well. He is not going to do anything unless I'm doing it with him. That's just how it is. He doesn't have a thing. His thing is watching TV. That's pretty much his thing. Okay, he watches TV and he plays a game on his phone and he smokes. And while I'm busy doing this, that's what he's doing. And I don't want you to think it's just all about him. It's not. Recently, I've been diagnosed with PAD, which is peripheral artery disease. The life of my channel, I've been vocal about how high my cholesterol is and, all this other stuff. And being inactive is not making that better. So I don't know at this point that I'm making this, and I would really love it if you'd pray for me. At this level of time right now, I don't know what they're going to do. Earthing is how this all came about, finding out about it, okay? Because I'm telling my doctor, which I've been telling you guys for a couple of years, complaining, and one of you said you have the same issue. So I'm just going to tell you, go to your doctor and ask them to see if you have peripheral artery disease. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. Ask them to check you, okay? Because there was one of you, and I don't remember who it was, but one of you was saying on my earthing video that you have the same issue where one of your ankles is bigger, an inch bigger than the other one. Okay, you guys know I've been telling you for a couple of years now that I've been trying to find out, hey, from pointing it out to different doctors. Why is that like that? And, you know, some of this I think is because we all have multiple doctors, right? So like not the old days when you have one doctor and like everything about you is in one place. And don't say my chart, because when my son was in the hospital, I got an up close and personal look at how much doctors pay attention, or at least the ones in this area, how much they pay attention to my chart. Like 5 doctors are coming in every morning to check on him, but it's just for the money, okay? How do I know that? Because they would come in and not even know what the chart said. Then they'd start talking to us about something totally different than what the admitting doctor just told us. And I'd be like, that's not what so-and-so said, right? They just, oh, okay. Then they go out and check the chart. And I'm like, why is it there if you're not going to check it? Typically, a lot of people, by the time you're my age, you have your family physician, maybe you have a heart doctor, or maybe you have a diabetic doctor, or, you know, you got different doctors doing different things. And from working in the ER, and anybody who's a nurse here who worked in the ER can tell you, I mean, people would show up with gallon-sized Ziploc bags of medicines they're on, right? Because the EMTs brought it with them to the hospital. Here's what they're on. Sometimes the problem was medications that were, you know, messing with each other. But, I mean, that's not always the case. I'm getting off track. What I'm trying to say is my health and the health of my husband right now is changing what I want to do with the rest of my life and my priorities. Now, my GP is very open-minded, you know, so I'm like, hey, have you ever heard of earthing? And she goes, yeah. And I go, do you think it's BS? And she's like, no. Why? Are you earthing? And I said, yes. And I'm anxious to see what my blood work shows. And if it has nudged down my LDL, then you're going to tell me, hey, keep doing that, right? And she's like, okay. You know, I don't think she thinks it's actually going to do this. But to me, in my head, you know, if what it's doing is getting rid of inflammation in your body, it's got to come down. In this conversation, we revisited the fact that my ankle, remember I told you in the video that I did on earthing that my ankle is now on the left a ½ inch smaller than it was. And you can't think your ankle smaller. Remember me saying that? Okay, I told her that, which caused her to really pay attention to my legs. And I had on shorts, so, you know, not attractive, but she can see my legs. So she's listening for my heartbeat and listening to me talking. And I had been telling her I've been having a lot of cramps, which I couldn't say for sure, but she needs to know because every once in a while, my doctor will scare me into taking a statin. And I'm on it long enough to realize that I hurt all the time. My muscles cramp and I hurt all the time on a statin. And they've had me on I don't know how many over the years. So she says, I want you to quit taking the statin and we'll see if these cramps get better, but I want to send you for a vascular ultrasound of your lower extremities. I'm like, why? She goes, I'm really kind of having a problem detecting your heartbeat. And, you know, with the cramping and everything, I just want to make sure. Make sure what? So off I go for the ultrasound, and what it showed is that I have peripheral artery disease, and it's critical in my left leg, which, by the way, is the leg that I've been telling everyone for a couple of years now is an inch bigger than this one. Hey, what's up? Is this one atrophying, or is there, you know, and I know something about me. I know that as long as I'm like giving this the kind of time that I give, I'm not going to get 4 inches off my waist. I need to get 4 inches off my waist. Okay, I did the measurements. They say that your waist should not be bigger than half of your height, and mine is. So I need to work on that. I need to get more active. I want to do some studying that I don't have time to do, right? About, you know, how to get healthier and stuff. And by the way, my blood test came back and my LDL came down 18 points, despite the fact that I took my statin down at that time by half. And I was hurting too bad, so I halved the statin. And at the same time, I had been earthing, and my LDL came down. This is not medical advice to you. My LDL came down 18 points. My A1C came down 2 points. And I was right on the cusp of pre-diabetic, and I'm not now. So it is doing stuff. But before I started doing that, I was not living so good. Still not. I want to change that. And that's going to require more time that I don't have because I spend it in here, filming and editing. And it does take me a while. Like I told him, I don't want to lose you. And I think that if you don't start getting active, I will. Because he's been stagnant for too long. Everything that was wrong with him when he retired, those things have resolved now. So he should be able to do things, but he's never going to do anything without me. And I'm doing this. So I need to spend less time doing this. So I'm probably going to do like more Instagram, maybe more shorts here that I don't have to come and sit down and film. Like if I get something new and I've tried it and want you guys to know about it, something like that. Or I might save it all up, you know, and just do one video and talk about, you know, here's stuff that's going in the trash. I didn't like it, or I used it up, and here's stuff that's came in that's new, you know. I mean, there's probably stuff going to come in like this. So there's a place called Madeleine, and they asked me if I wanted to do this. I don't know if they saw me talking about traveling or what, but they sent me this bento bag. I want to put this to use. We want to go to Florida. Look at this. This is nice. This is a super nice bag. You know, it's the kind that can go on the roll luggage. With this and that little suitcase, we could totally go to Florida. And I want to. I want to go to Florida. Spend time on the beach earthing. Because that's supposed to be even better than outside in the yard. Thank you, Madeleine. I don't know where you heard of me here or where, but thank you for sending that. Super nice, you know, probably you'll see it on Instagram at some point. Now, saying that, I do know that some of you are not and don't want to be on Instagram, and I'm sorry, I really am. I don't want to be there either. We want to do a little bit of traveling, seeing things. I want to spend some time with our kids and our grandkids, and I want to clear out this house so that we don't put, I got Shy Guy down here, so that we don't put our children in a position of needing to clean out our junk after we're gone. I don't want to be like going, well, that's my kid's problem. Let them take care of it. I don't want them to have to come and throw me away and feel what I've been feeling when we went to, you know, empty out Daddy's garage. I'm not going to ever forget that it felt like, even though it wasn't, it felt like I gotta take this to my house because I'm throwing my daddy away. We've had to do that recently because my father-in-law passed. And we've been having to go down there and pick out things that we want from that house, clear it out and stuff. And it just, I don't like it. I don't want my kids to ever have to open up a closet and there's like 500 vinyl records in here that they have to figure out what to do with. And you know, let's just take care of that now. While we are still physically able to do it, let's minimize our household. Let's study about how to get our health better. Let's spend more time with the kids, with the grandkids, you know, just bunches of stuff like that. I guess what I'm trying to say is this isn't goodbye. All right, I'm not going to leave YouTube, but I'm making changes again because of everything I just said, okay? Health, wanting to do, I mean, we've got studying to do about Medicare, what we need to do for Medicare. And we need to be doing that together because Shy Guy's going to turn 65 in March. By the way, if you have any tips, okay, for me on that front, please leave them below because, you know, you guys have good advice, good tips. And if you've been there, done that, you got something you want to say, and you're from the USA, that right. I'm listening. I always listen to what you guys say. Anyway, I have forged friendships here that I can't just go, okay, it's been real. See you guys later. I'm done with YouTube. I can't do that because I would miss you too bad. But I can't be tied any longer to every Friday at 6 p.m. You know, regardless if I have anything important to say or not, you know, we're going to do this. I can't do that anymore. By the way, this is this little one from Nikki that I'm using. I don't want you guys to be sad. And I don't want you to make me sad either. You know, it's not goodbye. It's just like
taking care of business every day, taking care of business.
I'd kind of like to know, like, what's your guys' favorite video of mine to watch? And, you know, I will make decisions based on that. If most of you say, I never really cared for Fritzyville Basket, or some of you have told me repeatedly, I don't get that video. I don't understand what that video is about. If enough of you didn't like that video, then, you know, why am I doing that video? If I'm the only one who gets it. I almost got you, didn't I, Peter? Yep. I can give you some updates on the last video. So this here, yes, the Natasha Denona concealer you knew I loved, but I've used the foundation now. And yes, it is fantastic. And yeah, I would buy that again. So good job, Natasha Denona. And I've always liked the concealers. All my socials are at Glitzy Fritzy. That's what they are. So you could always go over to like my Instagram, because if I get new products in and stuff, I'm going to give you updates and stuff at my Instagram. And, you know, I watch TikTok, and this is why we shouldn't put on makeup while we're talking. All right, I didn't actually put 4 full pumps on my face. I mean, they're half pumps, but yeah, I'm sure it looks that way. I put up something on TikTok. And, well, first of all, I don't really have a following on TikTok, because back when they were going to delete TikTok, I got rid of my TikTok, right? So I got rid of it, and then they didn't get rid of TikTok, so I went and got it back again. But then I didn't post there. I just mainly watch there, and ironically, when I'm there, I don't watch makeup. They do makeup totally different on TikTok. Like, oh my gosh, that's like in the days of old YouTube, right? We're going to put on 1,000 powders and 4 pumps of foundation, which I realize I do use. I've got a couple of different powders in this box here, you know, so I'm probably one of the few women my age who still uses powder like, you know, like I do. I just do makeup different over on TikTok, and I watch over there, but I don't really do that much creating over there, because it just, you know, I don't see the point. Instagram, it's kind of scary. After I seen what happened to Melissa 55 with the AI, I know they stole her story is where they got that. That's why Instagram kind of scares me. But, you know, people are going to be sending me things, and I owe those people some kind of a review. I mean, they don't say I have to. I just feel like I should. You know, to be grateful, I can at least do what they sent it to me for, which is tell you guys whether or not it's any good and whether I like it. So I plan to do most of that on my iPhone and uploading it to Instagram either by post or by story. So if you're like really wanting to know sooner than later, hey, how's that working out? Which, by the way, it's fantastic. Then I wouldn't wait to do a favorites video here. I would just put a little story or something up on Instagram and give you an update. Or like, you know, some of you were waiting on an update on this. And rather than wait until I can do a video, just tell you, hey guys, I've been using this for a week now and I love it. Okay, I just keep reaching for it. I love it so much. I want to use this brush. Long time ago, like 10, 11 years ago on my channel, I had this fan brush. Now, it wasn't exactly like this, but it was dense. Okay, that's the difference between this and all the other fan brushes, is that this one is dense. It was by Sedona Lace. I don't even know if Sedona Lace is around anymore, but they had one of these massive, it was wider than this. Not as dense as this, but it was denser than most. Okay, Sigma has one that they discontinued, that I quit using on camera because I discontinued it. Okay, but this, and eventually, of course, they will sell, and this is what I did with it. I would put on my, for sure, my bronzer, sometimes my blush too. with the fan brush because it's just perfect. So when I saw this brush, I was like, oh yes, I want that just because of that. And I told you guys, did any of you manage to score it? Because I told you guys on my community posts, which you should pay attention to because I'll be doing more of that probably. So on my community post, I told you guys, hey, this is launched, okay? Go get it now because it will sell out. And it did. It sold out. But this is what I love a dense, massive fan brush for. And nobody even had to tell me, okay? I was already doing that. Before Nikki LaRose made this brush, I was doing that. So yeah, wonderful to use it like that. And then you could like also take it and go drag through like that and just tap on your blush. But I think I want to use this. Really loving this new set by her. And BK Beauty, of course. And aren't we just so proud of Lisa? I mean, look what that woman has done. Oh, this is such a pretty blush. And you guys can see that even though I use powder, this primer is just really giving me a glow underneath. And the foundation, of course. But yeah, and it's not, I don't think it's too much at all. So proud of Lisa. And all Lisa had from BK Beauty, if you don't know, Lisa J. So proud. I'd say her last name, but I never remember how to pronounce it. This is that Laura Mercier powder, and I think I already just come under my eyes, didn't I? Did I set this? I've been talking so much, I don't know. Probably I've used all the powder I should use, okay? But this brush here, see how it's shaped? It kind of is like this. That's what I did. I took one of these and went under there, didn't I? Okay, but this is like the same kind of deal. You know how you would go in like that? And so that's why this brush is shaped like that, is so that you can put powder under here or around here. Fantastic. A lot of thought went into these brushes, I can tell.
Because I'm such a makeup guru. I'm a beauty guru.
I'm going to just do this off camera because, like I always say, watching me do this, if I'm not saying anything that you need to know, is like watching somebody paint a fence. Boring. So I will be back as soon as I have finished my hair. Couple of updates before I get out of here. I wanted to tell you guys. So we'll see if this does any good. I purchased this stuff called Minimalist. It's a lip balm, L-ascorbic acid, 0.08% lip brightening balm. I was noticing when I was shaving last time that in addition to that brown spot on my lip, it looks like there's another one headed my way. And I'm like, oh! So I decided I would give this a try, and I purchased it, and we'll, you know, when you see me again, if it looks like it's fading, that's why. So there's that. Also, I want to give a big thumbs up to BK Beauty and their brush set. Like I said throughout the video, I really, really enjoyed using it. I love it. Leave me comments below. Tell me what you think to the things I've said in the video. Love reading what you guys have to say. You can also write me here if you want. That'd be good too. But don't make me cry, okay? Because you have no idea how much I've already cried. Like I said, it's not an end. I just know it's going to upset some of you. And I don't like to upset anybody. Well, I want to let you know what a blessing you are to me, because you are, always have been, and I love you. And come and get a hug. Come here. It's going to be okay. All right? It'll be fine. If you don't feel like you're being blessed, just go be a blessing to somebody else. See how that turns around for you. And if the Lord's willing, I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. Love you. See ya. Bye. And I'm out. Keep an eye on this brown spot that's on my lip, as, yeah, it's always, keep an eye out on, keep watching this. take note of the spot on my lip. You guys see it all the time, right? But does it look like it's any darker? Does it look like does it look like it's lighter, maybe a little smaller than normal? I'll tell you what I'm doing at the end of the video, but to me, it does. I might just, be being very hopeful, but tell me, what do you think?